right, so I'm here today with my good friend Trevor, who just got back from 6 months in Bangkok studying abroad. So, Trevor, first of all, how'd you like it there?
Um, I'm now biased. I think Thailand might be the greatest country to ever
Really?
exist. Yeah, you can you can kind of do whatever you want. It's strict in some areas,
Hmm.
but you're free to do ATV riding, snorkeling, very easy travel,
Hmm.
and all that.
Yeah, that's amazing, dude. I mean, you were there. You said Thailand's the longest program, right?
Loyola has yeah, it is the longest one, and it has a ton of benefits.
Hmm.
Um, the school year ended about a month before we left, so we got plenty of time to travel and
Hmm.
do whatever you wanted before you headed home, since you're already only over there once.
Hmm. That's crazy. Like, walk me through your day. So you land there. You had to travel through Finland first, right?
Sweden and Finland.
Sweden and Finland. Okay.
So we flew from JFK to Sweden, stayed the day there.
Hmm.
Little stop, just layover. But we did get to go into the capital, Stockholm. Then we flew an hour to Finland for a little bit, and then we flew 13 hours to Thailand.
Oh my God, that's a long traveling time right there.
Yes.
Worth it though, apparently, huh?
Yeah, very
That's
worth it.
that's great. So you get to Thailand, then what happens?
You get to Thailand. Then one of the directors from the school we were studying at met us with a coach bus, and people would take care of all our luggage. So after that traveling, you didn't really want to pick up anything, be
Yeah.
tired. Got it off. They take it up to your room, and you get there pretty late, so you just go right to bed.
And then you wake up. So what's the name of the school there that you were at?
Assumption University of Thailand,
Okay.
commonly known over in Thailand as ABAC.
ABAC?
Yeah, it's a Assumption Business, something like that. Everyone just calls it ABAC, the locals.
And what is it like? What is the in relation to Loyola? And I know like Loyola is a small campus. Is it like how big is it? What does it look like? Just like describe it.
So there's two campuses. There's one closer to the center of the city of Bangkok, and that one's small, relatively, but it used to have around like 10 to 20,000 students, but really small. Most people lived off campus, pond, lake, and then about 45 minutes away from there is the main campus, which has like a 25-story building. It's only them, and then it has a stadium. That one has right now around 20,000 kids, so it's bigger than Loyola by a good amount.
Is it private or is it public?
Yes, it's a private. It's a Catholic school. It's a French order, not Jesuit.
Okay.
It's a French order.
Okay. Interesting. So when were you first like immediately hit with culture shocks? Like how soon did it happen?
Oh, immediately.
Yeah.
I was kind of out of it the first night when we arrived. I was just like sleep deprived, didn't sleep on the 13 hours, and I was loopy.
Hmm.
But the next morning, we went on a field trip, and you just see like electrical wires hanging from like anywhere. Like you gotta watch out for those, and that was probably the main thing. Just seeing like the electrical wires, like it's not neat, and all the motorcycles, no honking. Everyone just gets around, but it's in and out of traffic, swerving.
Yeah, I've seen like videos, like I don't know if just in Thailand specifically, but countries in Southeast East Asia with their motorcycles and how like chaotic the traffic seems.
Oh yeah, everywhere it's like that. Singapore, not so much. Malaysia, not really.
Hmm.
But Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand are really big on motorcycles. Like you'll see there'll be like a family car. You'll see a family of 5 on it, like 3 kids and the mom and dad.
Mhm.
And it's a small motorcycle.
Damn, that's
It-
clearly their
like,
safety laws are a little different than over there.
yeah, no helmets. It works. It just
Mhm.
works. But it's funny to watch. Like the first time I saw it, I was just like, I had to look back and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like there's a baby in like the mom's lap, and I was just like, oh, that's normal. All right.
That's crazy. So like you mentioned all those countries you went to, like were those with the school or just like on your own accord?
So all the programs, like trips with the school, are in Thailand,
Mhm.
but like some of it's far. It'll be like you'll go from Bangkok, which is like it's like the bottom of the mainland, all the way up north, and you'll spend like 10 days up north,
Mhm.
hiking through villages and stuff like that. But you have like all the Buddhist holidays are during the summer. A lot of them are. So those are like 5, 6 day weekends, and you're very close, like 3 hours from northern Vietnam by flight, and like 3, 4 hours to Singapore down south.
Mhm.
So you can really travel all around there.
what was your favorite country out of the 4 or 5 that you went to?
Well, Thailand is number one.
Thailand's number
I'm
one.
biased,
Mhm.
but my second would probably be Cambodia. Cambodia is like super nice people. It's flat rice fields, but it's kind of similar to Thailand. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Like you see like not like Bangkok, but like their second biggest city. I saw a cow going down the road when I was in the back of like a motorcycle like chariot or like. So you just see a cow walking down and cars going by, and it's
just like
no one's looking like it's wrong. It's just really funny.
That's awesome.
Like the best thing about those countries is like as from like a Western point of view is that like they live like a different life, but they're all so happy. Like with what they have, they all smile. Thailand's the land of smiles.
Were you like the big attraction over there is 6'4" or 5" American?
Yeah, if I went to a place that was like not a touristy area, and like in Bangkok, you do that because you're not going to go to only touristy area. It gets pretty boring. But like you go to like remote places, and like I am like might be one of the taller people they've seen. Like they'll come up to me like, "Oh, you're so tall," or like not say anything and just go like this. And if I shop there, they might like ask me to take a picture for like their Facebook account. So like there's pictures out there of me over there that I do not have. They're just somewhere on Facebook, and I can't find them.
I wonder what like the captions say.
I do too. I really do. It's like I'm very curious, but they were very nice, very very welcoming. Yeah, if like some of the words they'll know, they go like "Welcome to Thailand" if they don't know much, or like they'll always ask where you're from. They're always like intrigued. They're always smiling.
That's awesome. Seems like just like a overall like happy culture over there, huh?
Yes, very happy. Probably the happiest people I've ever seen. Some of the people, there's like gaps in wealth, but 99% of the time, everyone's very happy. They take care of each other over there, and like people, stray dogs, anything that's alive, they'll make sure it's kind of well taken care for.
That's good. What about like that whole area over there? Obviously, is very much intertwined with our recent history. What are their like? Do they have any perceptions about that at all, like the Vietnam War, or like the Laos and Cambodia and stuff like that?
Vietnam really, they're not mad at Americans. Like they don't look at it that way because for them, like we think that from our recent wars, but for the Vietnamese, before us there was the French. They were there for a long time, and before them it was the Chinese. So, and like all the Vietnamese people that I met. Super nice. They asked where I was from in America. They were very excited. They had no hard feelings. I never felt like they disliked me because I'm American. And they kind of just moved on. And they just looked to the past and it's just like, it's okay. Like, as Americans, we dwell on it, I feel, more than they might. Like, they have museums and everything, but it's not like that.
Specifically about Vietnam now, that was... You were in a communist country, like that wasn't like you know what I mean? Like, did you see any noticeable differences regarding that, or?
Not really. It seems like a lot of the countries around there, you can't. I don't really know how their government functions.
Yeah.
But like as a tourist, they're not probably going to stop me from doing things because I'm bringing money into the country.
Yeah.
But like from my point of view, I didn't see like a difference. They seem pretty happy. Yeah. Pretty similar to Southeast Asian countries. There's differences you'll see when you get there, but it's pretty similar.
Yeah, it's hard for me to wrap my head around just like how it works over there because I only ever like see Vietnam. My perceptions of Vietnam are just like the documentaries by what's that guy's name? I forget his name, but he's like the famous Oliver Stone.
Oh.
And I just kind of like in my mind I just like kind of lump all those countries together as a result. And I've like listened to a bunch of like podcasts that are like documentaries about our history in relation to them, like you know what I mean, like with the Viet Cong, Viet Minh, and just like Cambodia bombing Laos, all that. So like it's hard for me to wrap my head around like the culture over there. It's just crazy.
Yeah, they don't. Their culture is not like we depict it because we went to war there, but to them that's just where they live. It's not just like a war-torn country. Like most of the places are beautiful. Like. I went to northern Vietnam, went to this place called Sapa, and it's a big valley. and then like on the bottom is like villages, like smaller 500 to 1,000 people villages. They have high schools, they have electricity. That place, it's run on like all electric, like all like renewable. It uses water from the mountains and gravity to make like a hydroelectric just plant, and they all get power that way.
That's cool. So what about like Singapore? You were there for a
Oh,
race, right?
Yeah, I was there for the F1 race. In it was early October, I believe, and we went there for 4 or 5 days. I only went to the actual race day. I had to save some money, but going there, it's very clean compared to like other parts of Southeast Asia. Their motto is green and clean. So like in the middle of the roads, you'll see a lot of greenery, no trash. Like a lot of people know this, that like you can't chew gum, you can't litter, and you see that like there's nothing, like it is an immaculate like society. And I went there during like the busiest weekend of the year, the F1 race. So they're probably a little bit more lenient with like people, like tourists. We're dumb.
Yeah.
We're dumb. The tourists are dumb. And I was a tourist there, and I try to stay on my best footing. Like everyone knows, like you do not mess around in Singapore. I saw one dude who did mess around in Singapore. He got arrested.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got arrested. I think on a Friday or Saturday night. And yeah, I talked to I saw the security guard that was there the next day, and he said that guy is still in jail because he can't get out on bail until Monday. And he works there. He's probably going to get deported.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What did he do?
I'm not exactly sure. I think it was. I think he put his hands on someone.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was not good, and everyone like standing in line at this place was like, "Whoa, what is going on?" And most of the tourists like, "That guy's not coming back," like looking over the shoulder.
Damn. Can you imagine just getting arrested in like a country like that?
No. You have to behave yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you have a lot of freedoms over there. Maybe not Singapore. Like, you have to watch yourself, but you still got to be careful. Like, you don't want to be rude or disrespectful. But they allow you to do a lot of things that like it would be a hassle to do in the U.S. Like safety, like things. Like I can do an ATV ride. They let me ride down the street, and it's like, oh, you can ride an ATV. You're good to go. And you go off roading. And it's like,
just like, yeah, here you go.
yeah,
Here are the keys.
You're good. And yeah, they'll take you on like a tour. Very nice people, and let you visit places like visit an crocodile farm in Cambodia. That was a little too much for me.
Why? What do you mean? Why?
It was just like a lot of crocodiles in like small areas, and it was just like eh. And it's like they farm them for their leather, and yeah, they're huge. Like one dude threw a piece of meat in, and they all sprinted for it. And like you're saying, Bubba, if this railing fell, if you were leaning on it, you would last 3 seconds. You're like standing on this walkway. I was like, oh my god! Like there's like 50 alligators right below me.
Damn. I can't even like. That's
Yeah.
crazy. What about some of the stuff that you did in Thailand? Like, what were like some of the cooler things you did there?
My favorite part was probably the trek. So we went up to Chiang Mai, which is the second biggest city in Thailand. It's up north. It's like the spiritual capital of Thailand. It's much different from Bangkok. Smaller, a lot chiller. Like it's not as like everyone's running around super fast or like traffic wise. But up there we went 2 hours outside of it by Sung Tao, which is a pickup truck that you sit in the back of.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really fun. No AC, but you got wind going, and it's great. And then we went to villages out there, but we had to hike to each one each day. Like, they weren't bad hikes. They were only, like, a couple hours. Like, from memory, like, maybe 4 hours is the longest, if. But, like, you stay in these, like, villages. Like, no AC, little power. They have solar panels that give them, and they charge up a car battery for night. Some will have, like, a little TV. No AC, but, like, just, like, kids on the top of a hill, mountain, just, like, playing with dogs, running around. I remember I went swimming in this river up there. It was very rocky, and I'm swimming, and these two friends. They're about like 4 or 5. They're throwing rocks at each other, just having the greatest time in the world.
Yeah.
And like going into the water, like just like flailing around, throwing things. Threw a couple at me, it was really funny. And then like you see some elephants come, and you go back to the village house, and then you see some elephants enter the river. And you like go down, pet them, play with them, feed them. It's just really cool. Like you see things that like you know are out there, but you really don't understand how like people actually like live there and how they feel.
Yeah.
Like in movies, you see like these like huts that are like up on stilts and stuff, and like, oh, it's probably miserable. No, these people are very happy.
Yeah. It's such like a different way of growing up that your mind thinks that you have it the best way. You know what I mean? Like because of the way that we live, we think that the way that we live is the best way to live, and think that the way that people who live in Thailand and stuff like that is just like, oh, they must hate it. You know what I
It's
mean?
like why would someone live like that? No, these people are some of the happiest people I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like the tour guides, they do like the trip. I think one of them said he does it like once a month, like for 4 days. Like that's his like one of his things. He's also has other businesses, but I forget which one he's did. But like they have like food, and they have water, and they have a house, and they have a family and friends. That's all they need. Small communities, some pretty small, like a couple hundred people, pretty remote. And then like they'll send their kids off during the week to a bigger school where they have all the teachers. They'll stay there for the week, and then they'll have to like take a motorcycle back or something. Or walk, and it'll take a couple hours.
Wow.
Like we think like people are like, oh, I have to drive 30 minutes or I have to walk 10 minutes to class here. This 8-year-old is going to, like through the jungle with his parents on a motorcycle for like a couple hours to get to school where he's going to stay the entire week. Like it's very different.
It's very different. It's very hard to like wrap your head around if you haven't seen it yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the way that you're painting that picture for me, I'm just like, I can't even like fathom it. You know what I mean?
The kids there have a lot more responsibility too. I think it seemed like it, but they seem to like be pretty having fun. I remember staying at a village house the next morning. Kid walks out with an 8-year-old, like 8 to 10, like not bigger, with a machete on his hip, hops on a motorcycle, and drives up a trail up into the jungle, just gone. And I'm just like, that is the coolest kid I have ever seen. I was like, I want to be you.
Yeah.
It's like you can do whatever you want, and this kid just like dead-eyed me. It was just like, I was like, I'm scared of him. Like he could probably beat me up. He
seems like he's used that machete before.
No. But like he seems like a very like responsible. He's just like doing it like he's probably sent out to do something. That's what it looked like. But like the people over there are super friendly. You never feel in danger at all. Like all of Southeast Asia, super friendly. Like in these touristy areas, if you leave your wallet out, might get grabbed. But like you're never like scared that someone's gonna hurt you. Like no one's gonna rob you if you have your stuff on you. Like I felt really safe over there. No problems. People are always trying to help you. Yeah.
That's awesome. What about? Did you go skydiving there?
No.
No, you didn't.
I do not have the required amount of jumps.
Oh, really?
No. I did research online. It was like 200 jumps to do it because reasons. I think it has something to do with like heat and like turbulence. But I was just like, oh, can't do it. I don't have enough.
Damn. What about so you did the trek up to that city. What was it called again?
Chiang Mai.
Chiang Mai. What about some other things in Thailand?
All the islands there. I went to two. So I went to Koh Samet, which is like a 3-4 hour, depending on traffic. Thailand, Bangkok, all depending on traffic. It could take you an hour to go a mile in a taxi. Like, it can get really bad. You learn like the times to go out and stuff. It's like 3-4 hours to like a ferry, like or a speedboat that'll do 20 minutes to this island, Koh Samet. Very nice. Like when we went, it used to be much more popular with tourists. It's just COVID and everything. I think it's recovering. I think Thailand now is like getting really close back to like their old tourism.
Yeah.
Bangkok used to be like the most visited city in the world. So you go to this like island and it's very nice, beautiful beaches, beautiful crystal blue water. guys walking with like like a stick with stuff on either side, like coconuts,
Mhm.
and he'll be like, "Can I have a coconut?" He'll be like, "Oh, that'll be like 60 baht," and then he'll take out his machete, chop open the coconut, give you a straw, and then you got a nice cold coconut.
That's awesome.
And like plenty of dogs, like these dogs have little territories,
Mhm.
and like it's pretty cool. They'll like keep like certain like hotels, like beach bars, beach restaurants. They'll have dogs that like keep other dogs out of the restaurant or
Mhm.
like the bar, which is pretty cool. Like the dogs know like this is my place, and they sleep there on the beach overnight. They get fed in the morning and at night, and
Yeah.
they're like stray dogs, but they have a home,
Mhm.
which is kind of cool. And I went to Koh Samui, which is like a very touristy island. I was a tourist,
Yeah.
so but nice waters. You can do. I didn't get to go snorkeling. Heard snorkeling's really good. Got to visit elephants there.
Mhm.
I got to play with them, take like a mud bath and
That's
swim
so
with them.
cool. I want to see elephant.
Yeah, they're Asian elephants. They're smaller,
Mhm.
but like they're still huge.
Yeah.
And like they're so gentle, kinda.
Mhm.
But like then you see them like just snap something in half, and you're like, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
And they just don't do it.
Yeah, I never liked the idea of like us like American zoos like having elephants and like other kind of animals like that captive. Like I'd rather see it where it's supposed to be.
Well, in Thailand, there's like some problems. So
Mhm.
if you go to a place where you can like ride elephants, don't go there. It's unethical. They like to train an elephant, they have to hurt it. So like those are abused elephants. There's like plenty of elephant sanctuaries. You gotta make sure they're an actual like good elephant sanctuaries because some places say that, but they're still not it.
Mhm.
If you just like the tour guide's like, oh, we're gonna take the elephants for a walk, and they just walk and do their thing, and the tour guides just like follow the elephants, then you're at a good place.
Okay.
Because they're just wandering around. They keep everything like in line, and then the elephants, they like to be bathed, they like to be played with. So like they'll be like, oh, let's go in the pool. They'll
Mhm.
follow them, they'll feed them. That's a lot of fun. And a lot of these places will offer you like lunch with it because
Yeah.
you'll be with the elephants for like 5-6 hours. You're just walking around the woods.
That's so cool, dude. I want to play elephants.
Yeah, you can hug them. You just don't go to the back. That's like their only rule.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? It's like a horse kind of thing.
Yeah, or if it like steps on you, or if it doesn't know you
Mhm.
there and gets freaked out, they don't want anyone to get hurt.
Okay. Any other like cool places like
In
islands and stuff?
In Thailand, Bangkok, of course. Like, there's a lot of islands, and like depending on which one you go, like Phuket is like a beach area. It's not an island. I think it's still connected to the mainland. Very touristy. But there's other islands that aren't touristy I've heard of.
Mm-hmm.
But it depends on where you want to go.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to get around there. What else? Thailand. I spent a lot of time in Bangkok, which is, I love Bangkok. Like it's probably the hottest place I've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
I remember checking the weather one day. It's like feels like 110, and you walk out in like your school uniform. You're like, oh, this is bad. And like all the hallways in like the school, a lot of them are outside.
Yeah.
So you're walking around. You're like in like full, like you have long black pants, dress shoes,
Mhm.
and a long sleeve button down, and you're just like baking in the sun. But yeah, Thailand was my favorite country, but it's just because I got accustomed to like the culture very well,
Yeah.
and like I knew how the people, like their mentality and like how things were done there. Like in the U.S., like people are always rushing about
Mm-hmm.
and like doing stuff, but Thailand, like people take their time, no rush, like it will get done.
Yeah.
And if you like yell at a person, that's not gonna get you anywhere in Thailand.
Mhm.
They will do it for you. Just don't like you're not. It's yelling will not help you. And like like in the U.S. you yell, you'll get like the manager out and they'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, we'll do this for you. Sorry. There's like don't yell at them. It's like that's the thing. Don't get mad.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just be patient and like you'll have the best time ever.
So what about you told me a little bit about this before we started recording about like the government over in Thailand and the king. What's the king's name again? Do you know?
Well, they name like things like King Street and like their names for me at least. I cannot pronounce them.
Okay.
Like it's really hard. So
Yeah, it's
we
like
started,
6 or 7 syllables. that guy's name.
yeah. So we started like they'll name like it's kind of like King Street, but like Rama, and we'll say like Rama 9, Rama 10. Like it's just easier for us, but like they go through like a coup, Thailand, on average, I think every 7.5 years, and it's been around 8, I think.
They're well overdue.
Yeah, it's about time, and like the way their government switches is weird. It's like there are elections, but you can buy votes,
Mhm.
like which is like you can pay someone 1,500 baht, which is not much. That may be like $50,
Really?
like at the low end. It could be even less. It could be like 40. And yeah, they'll go to like poor areas where people need the money more than they care about voting. Like
Mhm.
1,500 baht, great. Like I'll take it. And then like it's a whole mess. Then they still have a king. One of the most wealthy kings in the world, and yeah, there's some opinions on him. He lives in Germany,
Oh yeah.
which is interesting. There's some rumors about him. He's not very well liked
Okay.
amongst the locals, but his father was loved.
Really?
Everyone loved his father. His father was great. He was always out in the community and like doing stuff. He would do things like that. Consolidated power more than when they went through a lot of constitutions. I think they have 20 in the last since the beginning of the 20th century. Since
Wow.
the beginning of the 20th century, they've had a good amount of constitutions, good amount of coups, but their coups aren't like bloody coups.
Mhm.
It kind of follows some rules, if you could say that, but like
They're very like
there's no like
structured.
fighting in the street. There's protests and stuff, but there's no one like fighting. There's no like military trying to
Mhm.
keep it down. They don't really do that.
It's not like some of its neighbors, basically.
Yeah, like Burma. Burma's going through. I wanted to go to Burma, but Burma was going through some ethnic cleansing.
Oh, we don't
Yeah.
like that.
No. Yeah. Very like all those countries down there are Buddhist, and Burma's trying to keep it Buddhist. It's not very Buddhist thing to do.
Mhm.
Let's just say that. Like very peaceful, like over Southeast Asia, very peaceful. That's odd, and you'll see like refugees, like they'll talk about it sometimes, like refugees coming from Burma to Thailand, and they'll welcome them. But yeah, they'll welcome 'em even though they kind of have a history with Burma. Burma has invaded Thailand a lot and
Okay.
destroyed a city, their old capital. They burned it down, and they had to
Mhm.
make Bangkok.
Interesting.
And that's
Um,
Bangkok is when that new king found it, like the new monarchy started in like 1769.
Interesting.
67.
Interesting. You mentioned that the current king isn't well liked.
Yeah, he's not. He. Let's just say he's a playboy. That's what the Thai people say. The Thai
Okay.
people call him playboy, and take with that what you will. But he's a playboy. That's what they view, and yeah, and he's not really involved with the Thai culture. He lives in Germany,
Yeah.
so like if you're the king, you should live in your own land.
Mm-hmm. What about the king's secret police
It's not secret.
or whatever?
Yeah, he has two like kind of police. One is like normal police looking officers.
Mhm.
The other is like an investigation unit that only report to the king.
Okay.
So don't have any evidence to back up that like people do things, but I've heard
Mhm.
that like they make people disappear
Okay.
if people talk about like the king in a negative way.
Just never to be seen again.
Yeah, that happened to a yeah.
Yeah.
That's oh yeah.
No more elaboration?
Yeah, it's kind of weird to talk about.
Okay.
I want to be welcomed. I like the king.
You like the king?
I like the king.
We love the we love the Thai king on this
I
podcast.
love him. Live in Germany.
So, any other cool little adventures you went on there in Thailand?
Thailand. Adventures. No, it's just like more about like living in a place. Like when I went visiting other countries in Southeast Asia, I looked at Bangkok
Mhm.
at the time as my home. That's where I was comfortable. I knew a lot of the restaurant owners by my school, cheap meals. They usually knew what I was ordering.
Mhm.
I'd walk in one place and there you go. It's a number 5. It's yellow curry
Mhm.
with white rice, and yeah, and I'd just bring it out. I'd sit there, bring it at 65 baht, like depends, like a little $1.50, $2.
That's crazy.
And it's like really good food. Like you can ask for like things not spicy. They can of course do that for you. Like it is spicy food, but I like just like going around eating at local places. Like they had great Indian food because India, the spices are closer. Some of the best Indian food I've actually ever had. There's an Italian place on my street.
Really?
By some Thai people.
How was it?
It was good. Like I was like, it's better than some of the pizza in Baltimore. I'm not gonna lie. So
I can imagine.
yeah, so I'm from New Jersey, so
You and me both. I got my opinions.
Yeah, so I like some. You get a personal pie, 200 baht, good to go.
That's great.
Like you can go down to any 7-Eleven. There's a 7-Eleven on every block. You can get like whatever you really need. You can get like grilled cheeses that they'll be in the fridge and they'll put in a panini press for you, heat it up, cost $1.
That's
It's
awesome.
like if you need a snack, you're traveling around. Like when we're on these buses, stop by a 7-Eleven and you get like 2 grilled cheeses, a bag of chip, and a Coke.
So did you ever like make your own food at all there?
No.
No.
I would make breakfast, which was like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
And then I would go walk over to a coffee lady and get a $1 coffee that was better than Starbucks, in my opinion.
That's awesome. Yeah, because there's a lot of our friends who are also abroad right now. They have to rely on making their own food and shit because it's so expensive.
Yeah, Thailand, like you do not need to make your. If you're going on this trip, you really can't. But you don't need to. Like the money they're paying for ingredients for their food is how much you pay for a meal.
Really?
Yeah. Like if you're getting like meat over there, you get like a breast of chicken, it weighs half a pound. That's a couple bucks. I'm getting a breast of chicken, rice. It's cooked. It has spices. $2.
Okay, I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. So like, if it's a necessity in Thailand, it's cheap. Like McDonald's, they have it, not a necessity. So you get closer to American prices.
Okay.
So like, it's better if you want to save money, you eat local, and it's actually really good. Like, you're like, oh, some people are like very sketchy. Like, what is that? And like, eat it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Yeah, just try. Why not?
yeah, it's like up in the village. Oh, it's boar. Ah.
Did you try the Thai McDonald's?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're
Was it good? Was it better?
the burgers. Yeah. They're not known for their red meat. But their chicken sandwiches,
Oh, yeah?
we need to learn how to fry food here. Fried chicken, we do not know how to do it. Like over there, it's fried, but it doesn't feel as hefty, and it tastes better. And I just love their fried food. I think they do it in a wok. It's just like, come on, I need to learn how to do that.
I like that's like you wouldn't think that Thai would be known for their fried chicken. I mean,
Yeah, they fry a lot of things.
Like you come home, the first thing you say to me is like they have the best fried chicken.
I was like, yeah, I was like, I had fried chicken all the time. I had it maybe like once a day. It was just like they have it in different forms. So like the only knife in a place, in a restaurant or in like a home is in the kitchen. So you chop it up and then you only use a spoon. People will probably think, oh, it's Asia, they use chopsticks. No, they use spoons. Only spoons. Like they will give you a plate and a spoon and a fork maybe, and you'll use the fork to put stuff on, like shove it onto your spoon. And it's actually really easy.
Interesting.
Yeah, but food is cheap. It's very cheap, very good. If you don't like spicy food, you can get by.
Yeah.
Like you can just say like My Pet, which is like no spice.
Okay.
And like it's broken Thai, but like My Pet, they know what you're saying.
Okay. Well, what about like English speaking over there? Do they like make a concerted effort? Do people like?
Oh,
Are
they
people
make
fluent?
an effort. Like if they hear like I'm from America, they'll start like trying to talk, and like they'll be like, "Sorry, my English like is not good," and I'll be like, "I know what you're saying." He's like, "Are you going this way?" Or like it's like kind of broken. He's slow. Well, like I understand. I'm like, "Yeah, you're doing great. Like I understand you fine." Like I am not confused about what you're saying. You're doing good. So it depends. Like some people do. Like speak, and some people you'll run in not a word, like not a word of English. They'll go like no, yes, but like nothing. And it's like, it's not that hard. Like a lot of these places, you have a menu and you can point, and so a lot of them have like English translations under it. So they'll be like, oh, or like a lot of them be numbered. So like you like say like 5.
Yeah.
Or you just point, and they'll know that.
Okay.
Getting around is easy. Taxis, like for me, if I was out doing something, it was easy for me to get back to where I lived, which is always like nice because like every taxi driver in the city, this is like a 12, 13 million person city. Every taxi driver knows where my school is.
Really?
Like exactly, like I consistently get dropped off. There's only one time the person didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I get like dropped off at the gate I wanted to get dropped off at, there's like I'll say Bai Abak Huamak. Bai means go, Abak, and Huamak is the district it's in. So they know that school in that district.
Interesting. Were you able to pick up any Thai over there besides like just little phrases or?
Little phrases. It's a hard language, and like I was also getting used to the culture and
Yeah.
other things. But like, I wish I learned more. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna lie, I kind of slacked. But like nit noi is like a little. So if you want a little spice, you want something nit noi.
Mm-hmm.
It's like raccoon. It's like raccoon, but you pronounce it a little bit differently. If you say raccoon, it's like it's a little off to them.
Yeah.
It's like raccoon. I'm not very good at saying it's like love. Like if you love like food, or like a roy is like if you want to like give like the chef a good like thing. It's like a roy, and they'll be like, or you go like a roy, and they'll get what you say. A lot of hand signals, like thank you, like simple phrases in those countries. If you learn them, it'll get you a long way because it means you're trying.
Yeah.
So like if you go to like if you say like kab kun cup to someone after you order, they'll be like oh like it's you'll see it. They enjoy people trying to speak their language.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of tourists, they go there, be idiots,
Yeah.
and then go away. It's like learn a little bit something.
It's. I'm like while you're saying all this, I'm like trying to in my mind, I'm like placing myself there. It's so cool. Like it really is.
You take it like a little bit, like one thing shocking, and then you find another thing that's shocking, but you're you're desensitized to the
Yeah.
other thing that you just found shocking. And then like a couple months in, you get the run of the city, how it goes, how people are, how to get around, how to behave, what's acceptable, what's not.
Mm-hmm. How about so you mentioned Thailand, Vietnam, Singapore. What about Cambodia?
Cambodia,
Mm-hmm.
awesome, alligator farm.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
Wait,
That
so
was
what am I missing? Then?
Malaysia.
Malaysia.
I stayed in Kuala Lumpur, the city.
Mhm.
If I went out in like more of the wilderness, I think I would have liked it better.
Mhm.
Malaysia was on the bottom of my list. Sorry, Malaysian people. People very nice. I met my taxi driver. His name was Baba.
Oh yeah.
Baba was really funny. He was like our tour guide, and I loved every part of it. And yeah, he would take us around, took us to like the palace, took pictures in front of that. He took us in front of the tallest twin towers in the world now.
Oh, the Petronas
yeah,
Towers.
the Petronas Towers went in front of it. He said we can get a better view from another tower. That's like a 360. We went there. I think it was the Keel Tower. But something like that. Very nice. He took us around, took us to a temple, took us to like a street market,
Mhm.
which was really cool. And he was just a fun dude to be with. Like 4 dudes crammed into a taxi, 1 up front, 3 in the back, just
Yeah.
driving around Kuala Lumpur.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Food was good, hefty. Like their breakfast meal was like a normal, just any of the day meal. That's all over Southeast Asia. They don't
Mhm.
have breakfast food,
Okay.
but like they have like a strong Indian, like they get their culture a little bit from India, like a good amount. They have a lot of curries, like
Mhm.
closer to Indian. Like Thai curry is different than Indian curry.
Okay.
It's just like they
What do
call
you-
them curries.
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean different? Like, in taste wise?
It's taste. It's not as like liquidy. Green. It actually depends. Depends on who's cooking it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's using like different spices, and like so like Indian will use like more Indian spices, and Thai people and they taste different.
Mm-hmm.
Like green curry, that's like really hot. It has a lot of peppers, very herbal. No, I'm not a big fan
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not into the herbal, but like yellow curry is my favorite.
Okay.
Like I will take yellow curry, a Thai curry over any Indian curry.
Mm-hmm. Huh. I'm not really a big fan of that kind of food, so it's like.
Well, yeah. If that's not your thing, you still find things. So.
Yeah.
There you can eat for cheap. There, you can go to really nice places. Like, I went to in northern Thailand. I went to a 5-star Michelin star like dessert stand.
Really.
Yeah, and it's roti. It's like they cook like a crepe in front of you, put stuff into it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like Arabic.
Oh yeah.
I think so. I'm not exactly sure, but these are like some Arabic people cooking it. Like it was super good. And then there's a place in Thailand, didn't get to go there because you have to be there super early. It's like a crab omelet, Michelin star, costs you like $4. It's like that's like the kind of stuff. A lot of street food. Yeah. Going off topic a little bit.
No, it's all good. It sounds that all sounds honestly pretty good. Like I would be open to trying it. I mean, like I said, that kind of food or like just like Southeastern. I always steer clear Asian food in general. Like all encompassing. I like Chinese food, for example. Like I don't really like that's too heavy for me. Indian food,
Well,
I
like
can't
American
really handle.
Chinese food.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I'm used to.
Like Chinese food is very different. Like it's an acquired taste. Some of it I like, some of it I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big like actual like American Chinese food. Love it. Actual Chinese food, for me.
It's great. So, actually, like now to like the real reason why you were there, which is school. What was that like?
Oh, school is great. I love school. Some of the best professors I've ever had. We had this Australian professor. So they don't use last names over there.
Mm-hmm.
So you would say Ajahn, which is like sir, like teacher. That's what you call your teacher, and then their first name.
Really?
Yeah. So we called him Ajahn Ian. Australian taught us English. Kind of hard.
Really?
Learning English. It was only people from ours. It's a Loyola program school, so it's directly affiliated with Loyola, so he has to follow Loyola standards.
Mm-hmm.
So like that was probably the hardest one. And then the other ones, you speak English. This is an international school that teaches in English to some people whose English is not great. So like if you're in I was in one of those classes. Kids were struggle, but it's easy. You still learn, and it's taught pretty fast. I was honestly astonished how fast this teacher was talking,
Mm-hmm.
and how they have to work just even just comprehend what's going on.
So it was basically just like grammar and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like
Not grammar. She does not teach you grammar.
so it was just
You're
like
it's a history class.
Oh, it's a history
it was a history class taught in English
Mm-hmm.
to Thai students. So imagine here taking a Chinese minors have to imagine taking a history class on China in Chinese or on Thailand in Chinese.
That's
It's weird. It's
Yeah.
like you're learning about a different place in a different language. Like you'll have some Nepalese students, some Chinese students, so they're learning in English about Thailand.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Yeah, that is weird.
And then other classes, other 200 level core classes. That's what I took. I finished all mine there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to take a sixth class, which was Thai politics, which was super interesting.
Yeah. What do you mean? Like, what were some interesting parts about Thai politics?
We were the first. So the professor was the first ever. This is what he said: Buddhist monk to go to Oxford.
Oh, wow.
Like monk to go to Oxford, and he also studied at Hamburg and Harvard. Really smart guy.
Mm-hmm.
Was head of a political party before it was dissolved. Very sweet man. Best laugh I've ever heard. Took us to the Thai Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
First ever foreign students to go there. The new
Wow.
one. They built a new one, massive building, beautiful. Went to the Prime Minister's area.
Like his residence?
Yeah. I don't know
Or
if he
like his
lives there.
office?
Office. I don't know if he lives there. I think he does.
Okay.
And he also took us to the voting commission, which was kind of funny.
Mhm.
But yeah, he was super smart. Learned so much from him, and then took a class with this professor. He's from Kashmir. He asked to be called Brother Malik. We called him Brother Malik.
Mm-hmm.
He was always engaging. He would try to be engaging. He was. If you engaged with him, he would engage with you.
Yeah.
So it's all up to you. And for them, they're used to the students there don't really engage. They would just sit there and listen and take
Mhm.
notes. And they say they like American students and Western students because we engage more.
Yeah.
And we engaged with them, and it was super fun. You'll have a great time. You'll never be stressed about going to class.
Really?
You're not going to be stressed out from work. The professors there, if you take those classes, they're not trying to drown you in work. They want you to go out and explore.
Mm-hmm.
So say you have a break coming up, they're not going to make you do work over that break. If you're oh, I'm going to Vietnam, they'll be oh, go enjoy Vietnam. You'll learn you will learn things from traveling if you go into trying to learn a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and have some fun. So the teachers there are very understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like very heavy on work. It's very heavy on attendance. You just have to show up.
Mm-hmm.
If you show up, you'll be fine.
Interesting.
Like you'll be more than fine. They'll take care of you. If you don't show up, you fail. Like I think if you should miss a certain amount, depends on the teacher, you'll fail the class automatically.
Mm-hmm.
You miss the midterm, you fail. Like there's no redos, nothing. Like there's
No, like excuses. or
no
anything?
no excuses. Hard to get by. Maybe a doctor. Feel
Yeah.
like you have COVID, but no excuses. Different professor will proctor your exam, but it's not bad. It's very doable. You're not going to feel like, oh, I'm so stressed with work, I can't. No,
Yeah.
like you're out there, you can learn about, explore the city, explore other areas, which is
Mhm.
really nice.
That is good. Yeah. It's interesting hearing, not just from you, but from other people abroad in general, like the different learning styles across the world. Like you explaining your learning style, and then some of our buddies in Belgium, the way that they do it is they don't get any homework at all, and the only thing they're graded on is their final exam. Like that's it. Which is like it's just interesting to hear the different ways that people are taught things. you
Yeah,
know?
they work. Maybe some are better from other people.
Yeah.
I think I think that's a European thing usually, right? Is
What the
you have like a final, and that's
yeah,
like your
I
grade.
mean, I'm not sure about the rest of Europe, but that's at least what they were telling me
I
over
think
there.
Italy, I think it's the same for Italy. I remember
Mhm.
my Italian teacher saying that. But yeah, over there, it's also like apparently there's a difference in like how students behave in class.
Yeah.
Like what's normal. It's like just like in Thailand, they don't really talk, they don't interact, they don't raise their hand. It's just like they get the information,
Hmm.
take their notes, go about their day.
Yeah. Is Bangkok like the city like are they known for anything in particular?
Bangkok?
Yeah.
A lot of people have this perception of Thailand. It's like this super dirty,
From The Hangover.
dangerous. Yes. Hangover Part 2. That is what people imagine Thailand. Yes, there are some parts like they did get the pictures from Bangkok,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's not like you're not worried about like a guy on a bike with a drug monkey
Mm-hmm.
like shooting you. That's
Yeah.
not something that happens. Like the power outage, like things like, oh, there's so many power outages. Not a thing. That hotel they were in,
Yeah.
I don't know where they found that. That had to cost 50 cents.
Really?
That is the worst hotel room you will ever find in that city. Like the worst. Like they made it look bad. Like you can go to like they have like the Mandarin Oriental in Bangkok is one of the nicest hotels
Mm-hmm.
in the entire world. It's been ranked like top 10. It's like a top 10 bar there. It's beautiful. And like there's a lot of those. Like you can stay for cheap at a nice hotel there. You do not it's not like that. No one
Yeah.
lives like that in Bangkok. That was like a movie moment.
So that's like a misconception, basically.
Yes. Like those sky bars.
Mm-hmm.
That one they went to in the movie is very expensive now because it was in The Hangover.
Yeah.
So rule that one out. But there's plenty of like other sky bars that you can go to. If you're not a millionaire,
Mm-hmm.
you can go there and you can have like some nice drinks and hang out.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds great hanging out at a sky bar in
Yeah,
Bangkok.
you can get good food too. It's
Yeah.
just like looking over like massive city, like huge skyline. Yeah, Bangkok is huge, and there's like a lot of different parts. Like there's some slums.
Mhm.
Most countries have
Yeah.
bad parts. Their bad parts, you're not going to find yourself there if you're visiting.
Mm-hmm.
It's where people live, and there's some like street vendors, but you'll find other places to go, and you won't even be scared in those like slumish areas.
Would you say this is like the best experience of your life?
It's one of them. I probably grown I feel like I've grown a lot as a person,
Mhm.
just like very open minded to like just how people live their lives, and like I'm not one to judge. They do their thing, we do our thing.
Yeah.
They're happy. I think people are happy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're not worried about like material wealth or stuff. They're just happy to be going around.
It's good, man. Well, listen, it was great having you on.
All right,
I'm
thank
so happy you had a great time there. I'm happy you're back, but I'm happy you had a great time there because that's like
Thank you so
that's
much.
like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like to have like 6
Months?
months
Oh, yeah.
unabridged.
Yeah.
Like-
If you're a student at Loyola and you're listening to this, don't go to Europe. Like You can go there for vacation later on in life. Like, you can go there for 2 weeks, easy peasy.
Yeah.
And, like, you're not going to need months to get the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you already get what's going to go on there. Thailand, you think you know what it is. Like, oh, it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand. Go there. It's great. You'll have a fantastic time. You'll really enjoy yourself.
It's great. Well, Trevor Oberlander, everybody.